Welcome to RAS classes. Today we will discuss about the main function in C. Main function in C. In previous videos, we have already discussed about the types of function. Function is generally of two types. Function is generally of two types, that is predefined or system defined. And another one is user defined. One is predefined function or system defined function. Another one is what? User defined function. What is predefined and what is user defined function? I have already told that if the functionality means what that function will do. If the functionality of a function defined by the user, then it is called user defined function. If the functionality of a function is predefined at the time of designing compiler, if it is predefined or system defined, then that is called what? Predefined function or system defined function. Clear? Now come to main function. First of all, you just see there is open parenthesis and close parenthesis. When you see within a name there is open parenthesis and close parenthesis, in C it is treated as function. Clear? So main is a function. Suppose you are using printf. Whatever the parameters you are passing or not passing, that is not mandatory. But in printf there is open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So it's a function. Scanf. Whatever the parameters you are passing, we are not considering that. But there is open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So scanf is a function. Clear? So like this, main is a function. Clear? You cannot write main1, main1, main2 like this. You cannot write. You cannot write capital MAIN. Clear? So main is predefined. Its name, main is predefined. Clear? And its main is user defined function. Is user defined. Why it is user defined? Because I have already told, if the functionality of a function defined by the user, then it is called user defined function. So what the main function will do, whether it will add two numbers, whether it will subtract two numbers, whether it will find the factorial of a number, it is defined by the user generally. User defines what the main function will do. Clear? It writes the code for the main function. Clear? So main is user defined function, but its name is predefined. Clear? Now see, main function is user defined function. Why? Because what the main function will do, the functionality of main function is generally defined by the user. So it is a user defined function. Clear? Second, you know in C the program execution starts from main. The program execution in C, the program execution starts from main function. Clear? Each program in C starts execution from main. Suppose this is a program, integer main, and you have written some codes. Then at the end you have to write what? Return 0, semicolon. Then this is the end of curly braces. Clear? This is a small syntax. Each program execution in C starts from main ends with this end curly braces of main. Clear? Next, if in your program only one function is there, then that must be main function. Clear? If in your program only one function is there, then that must be main function. Clear? Now see, in this syntax, integer main. So integer is the what? We have already discussed. This is return type. Clear? This is function name. And there is no parameter is passed here. And as return type is integer, we have written return 0. Clear? Then you can see in main function at last generally we are writing what? Return 0. This 0 means what? Can you write -1 or 5, any positive value or negative value? Can you write? Yes. Just to understand, when your C program starts executing from main, this main by default called by operating system. Operating system calls the main function. Operating system calls the main function. When you execute your C program starts executing from main, and this main function is called by operating system. Clear? So you know each function returns something. So main function as return type is int, it will return, I am writing what? Return 0. Return 0 means the operating system understands your program executed successfully. That means if you are writing in return 0 as operating system calls main function, after end of main, this is the end of main. Before this it is returning 0. That means this 0 will be returned to which place? To the operating system, because operating system calling your main function. Clear? So whatever main function will return, that will return to operating system. When 0 will be returned to operating system understands that your program executed successfully. If other than 0 means any positive or negative. Other than 0, any positive or negative means what? OS understands your program does not executed successfully. If it is written in 0 means your program executed successfully. For the what? Operating system point of view. Operating system understands if you are written in 0 means your program executed successfully. If other than 0, that means any positive or negative value you can write. Your program will executed successfully, no problem. But in case of operating system point of view, your program executed with some error, not executed successfully. Clear? So, suppose your operating system is doing some work. If your main function is executed successfully, depending upon the successful execution of a main, operating system will do some work. Then at that time, problem will arise if you are returning other than 0. Because if you are returning other than 0, program will execute successfully, but operating system will understand what? Your program executed with some error, not executed successfully. So it will not do that work. But generally from outside, you will see there is no difference if you will write the return 0 or any positive or negative value, negative constant. Clear? But for the operating system point of view, there is difference in case of a return 0 and any other value. Clear? Understood? So it is good practice always to write integer main and return 0. Clear? Now see the different forms of a main function. Different forms of main function. In how many types you can call a main function or you can write main function in your program. Clear? Now see. Generally I am writing integer main open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Then I am writing quotes. Then before end of main I am writing return 0. This is the general practice. You may write integer main. Here inside parenthesis I am writing void. Clear? Then writing some quotes, then return 0. This is another syntax you may use. Otherwise you may write void main. As it is void main, return type is void, you need not have to return anything. Otherwise you may write only return with no value, or you need not have to write anything because return type is void. Clear? Otherwise you may write like this: main, then this is return 0. Clear? These are the syntax. Another you may write, this is suppose integer main, then integer argc, then character star argv. This is one syntax you may write, and return 0. These are two parameters. Clear? I will tell. Just see. Another syntax you may write integer main, then integer argc, then comma character star argv, then character star envp. You may write like this. these are different syntax, these are different forms you can write or you can use in your program. Clear? Here return type is integer, that's why we are writing integer 0, return 0, and here there is no parameter, there is no argument. Here also I have written as void, so there is no parameter actually, and here return type is void and there is no parameter, so we need not have to what? Write any return statement. Here by default there is no what? Return type. By default it is integer type, because I have already told in C if you are not mentioning any return type, then by default it will take as integer type. Clear? So we have to write return 0. Here you can see I am mentioning what? Return type is int, but here you see I am passing two arguments or parameters. One is integer type argc, another one is character pointer string type. Clear? This is character pointer array. Clear? That means this argc, I am telling here, argc means argument counter. Argument counter, argc. ARGB means argument vector. Here there are three parameters or arguments. One is argc, another one is argb, third one is what? envp. This is also pointer, array of pointers. Clear? So these are character pointer array of character pointers. Clear? envp means what? Environment pointer. Clear? So these are the variables we are passing as what? Parameter to main function. How you will use these parameters in your program? Clear? Now see, here argc means argument counter. What it keeps? It keeps the number of arguments. argc keeps the number of what? Arguments. Suppose you have a Ubuntu operating system, like Linux operating system. At that time, in terminal, you are executing your program. Suppose in terminal, you are typing what? Suppose gcc space, suppose file name is file1, then .c. You are compiling this file. If compilation successful, then it will execute one executable file, that is ./a.out. To run this executable file, what is the syntax? You will type what? ./a.out. Clear? If compilation successful, it will create one a.out file, and you will run what? A.out file will be created. Then to run that executable file, you have to type what? ./a.out. Clear? Now see, you are giving ./a.out to execute your file. If you are using this syntax and if you have parameters in main function, how you will use these parameters in your program? That is the question. So when you are executing, at that time you may give ./a.out and give some argument there. From command prompt and from terminal, you may give some argument. Suppose I am giving some argument. This is suppose A, B, C, and this is suppose X, Y, Z. Then I am pressing enter. Clear? After compilation, if compilation successful, then your C program will generate one a.out, this executable file. To run this file, ./a.out. So I will give some arguments. At the time of run, I will give some argument from command line. This is called command line argument. So ./a.out space abc space xyz. So two arguments I have passed here. And this is my executable file name. Clear? Now see, what I told, argc keeps the number of arguments. Here number of arguments total 3. So argc keeps what? 3. In this case, argc value is 3. Clear? So how I use these parameters in my program? Now see, suppose I am taking one for loop for I equal to 0. This is one what? Pointer to string. So I equal to 0, then I less than argc, then I plus plus. Clear? Suppose I am printing this value, printf %s, this is pointed to string, %s, then argv of I. Then return 0. Clear? I am printing this argv value. What it will display? Just remember, the argv 0 is your full path, full file name, full path file name, full path file name. So argv 0, when I value is 0, argc is the number of what? Arguments or parameters. So I equal to 0, I less than 3, so it will work for 0, 1, 2. Clear? 3 arguments, 3 parameters I am giving. First is the file name. Second parameter is abc. Third parameter is xyz. So total 3 parameters. I equal to 0, I less than 3. So it will work for 0, 1, 2. It will print argv 0, argv 1, argv 2. So now argv 0 will print full path file name. It will print ./a.out. It will print what? File name. That is ./a.out. Now see, argv 1 will print what? The first parameter passed after the file name. That is abc. abc. Clear? Then argv 2, what it will print? Second parameter, that is xyz. In this way, with the help of command line argument, you can use these parameters at that time. When you will pass some parameters from command line, at that time you will use this argc and argv. Clear? Argc is the number of parameters or argument passed from the command line, and argv keeps the string or is parameters. This is a pointer to string. Clear? So first argv 0 will display what? This file name. as this executable file name is a.out, it will display a.out. Then what? This will display a.out. Clear? Then second, this is argv1 will display the second argument, that is after file name whatever the argument. Clear? This is abc. Then argv2 will display xyz like this. Clear? Now come to third parameter of a main function, that is envp. The envp, as I have told, this is the environment pointer. It will display all the environment variables set in my system. Here it will display all the environment variables set in my system with equal sign. Clear? So this is envp. Clear? And how I can use this envp? I can write like this. For suppose this is integer I equal to 0, then here I have to take integer I. Then this is envp I not equal to null. Then I plus plus. Clear? Then printf percentile s, then envp I. You can use like this. You can print the value of envp like this in a program. This is the third parameter in integer main or main function. Clear? So these are the forms we can use in a program. The different forms of a main function. Clear? Understood? Today we'll stop here, and in next video we'll discuss some more about the function. Thank you.